Ron Weasley is standing in the bathroom. His hands are shaking. There's blood on his robes, not his. A Slytherin boy won't be getting up again. Ron looks in the mirror. He doesn't recognize himself. That happens when you do something you can't tell your mother about. Harry Potter walks in, closes the door, doesn't ask what happened, he already knows. He always knows exactly as much as he needs to. Harry Potter takes Ron Weasley's wand, wipes it with a towel, places it back in Ron Weasley's hand. You did the right thing. He begged, Harry. He negotiated. You closed the deal. There's no anger in Harry Potter's voice, no pleasure, just the exhaustion of a man crossing an item off a list. In this Hogwarts, everyone smiles, everyone says the right things, everyone knows that friendship is a favor someone will eventually collect on. Harry Potter, the boy who lived. Perfect story, perfect brand. The Triwizard Tournament isn't a competition, it's an opportunity you don't waste. Rita Skeeter is already sharpening her quill. She's not looking for truth. Truth is boring. She's looking for a crack she can pry open. And she's found one. Hermione Granger wakes up at 5 a.m. That's what people do when they don't trust the world enough to sleep. Hermione Granger checks Harry Potter's schedule, crosses out breakfast with Hagrid, too sentimental, writes in profit interview, better reach. Hermione Granger writes Harry Potter's speeches, every word measured. I'm grateful for my friends sounds better than I use my friends, means the same thing. Hermione Granger gives Ron Weasley a vial, smiles that smile that makes you want to believe her, for focus. You want to be useful, don't you? Ron Weasley wants to be useful. Ron Weasley always wants to be useful. That's his problem. Rita Skeeter finds Ron Weasley in the library, sits close, doesn't flirt. Rita Skeeter is smarter than that. You understand how these stories work, don't you, Ron? There's a hero, there's a villain, and there's the one nobody mentions at the end. You did something for Harry Potter. I don't know what, but I can see it in your eyes. People who've crossed a line have eyes like yours. Question is, what happens when you become an inconvenient reminder? I didn't put that fear in you, Ron Weasley. I'm just naming it. Ron Weasley doesn't sleep for 3 nights. Hermione Granger's potions don't help anymore. Ron Weasley stands outside Dumbledore's office, hand raised to knock, footsteps behind him. Ron? Hermione Granger, soft voice, concerned eyes, everything perfect. You look exhausted. Come on, I'll make tea. Ron Weasley lowers his hand. Of course he does. Hermione Granger always knows best. The room is small, warm, fire crackling, blanket on the chair. Everything says, you're safe here. Hermione Granger makes tea, her movements calm, domestic. She adds honey, then something else, silvery, almost invisible. You've been carrying too much. That's my fault. I should have taken better care of you. Hermione Granger sits beside Ron Weasley, takes his hand. Her fingers are warm. Drink. It'll help, I promise. Ron Weasley drinks. He's always trusted Hermione Granger. That's his second problem. Obliviate, in its pure form, erases memories, but Hermione Granger never uses anything in its pure form. She improves. Those focus files were just rehearsals. This is the final formula. Obliviate plus sedative plus something from the restricted section. It doesn't erase memory, it erases the person. Leaves a shell, smiling, nodding, grateful. The perfect friend. An hour later, Ron Weasley sits in the chair, watches the fire, smiles. Ron, how do you feel? Wonderful, Hermione. Thanks for taking care of me. Ron Weasley will say that forever now. To any question, a smile and gratitude. Emmy, warm, safe, gratitude. Harry Potter comes in later, looks at Ron Weasley, then at Hermione Granger. Problem solved? There was no problem, just exhaustion. He's rested now. Harry Potter nods, doesn't ask for details. He stopped asking for details long ago. It's convenient, not knowing. It lets you sleep. Hermione Granger adjusts Ron Weasley's collar, gently, almost tenderly. The scariest thing about monsters isn't cruelty. Cruelty is easy to spot. What's scary is when the monster strokes your hair and tells you everything will be okay. The maze at night looks like the intestines of some huge animal. Walls breathing, shadows moving. Cedric Diggory walks beside Harry Potter. He's a good guy, the kind who holds doors and doesn't expect thanks. In another story, he'd be the hero. May the best man win, Harry. May he? Harry Potter knows. In this story, the honest don't win. The honest are decoration. Pretty background for those who know how to play. Cup, pool, graveyard. Voldemort is waiting. He doesn't scream, doesn't threaten, speaks quietly, almost intimately. You're a smart boy, Harry. You understand what I'm offering? Mutual benefit? Exactly. The world is afraid. You give them hope. I give them reason to fear. Hope needs fear to stay profitable. Fear needs hope to stay relevant. Together, we're the perfect product. Harry Potter thinks for a second, maybe two, then extends his hand. Cedric Diggory sees the handshake, his face a textbook in disappointment. Harry, what are you doing? Harry Potter doesn't answer, just looks at Wormtail, a slight nod. Green flash, the body falls softly, almost silently. Harry Potter takes the corpse, cuts his arm, shallow but photogenic. Blood is needed for the story. Heroes must suffer. Harry Potter returns with the cup and the body. The crowd screams. Someone cries. Cameras click. Harry Potter falls to his knees. Perfect shot. That night, the wizarding world got a hero and a villain. A beautiful, simple story. Nobody asked who wrote it. Hospital wing, chaos, flowers, journalists. Harry Potter lies on white sheets, pale, exhausted, beautiful. He waits for the cameras to focus, then allows himself to break. He's back. Cedric, I couldn't. Tears roll evenly. Voice trembles in the right places. This isn't grief, it's a performance, rehearsed down to the last sob. Dumbledore stands nearby. 150 years of life taught him to see lies. He takes Harry Potter's wrist, looks into his eyes, searches for Tom Riddle, searches for darkness, hunger, rage, finds emptiness. Harry Potter isn't evil. Harry Potter is nothing. A mirror reflecting what people want to see. The perfect hero because there's nothing inside. Dumbledore frowns. For 50 years he searched for the next Dark Lord, searched for ambition, charisma, thirst for power. He searched for fire, forgot to look for the one holding the matches. Slowly, Desdumb in the corner of the room, Hermione Granger. She's not crying, not comforting. She stands slightly apart, flipping through a notebook, checking the schedule, crossing off items. Around her, chaos. Inside her, accounting. Hermione Granger feels Dumbledore's gaze, looks up. Dumbledore sees the girl who, at 11, arrived in a world that called her Mudblood. The girl who understood the rules weren't written for her, so she wrote her own. He sees the one who spent years building this machine, selecting parts, oiling gears. Harry Potter, the pretty facade. Ron Weasley, expendable material. Voldemort, a scarecrow that raises the price of safety. and Hermione Granger, the architect. Hermione Granger smiles at Dumbledore, light, polite, the smile of a straight-A student who knows the answer but doesn't want to seem like a show-off. "Professor, did you need something?" Dumbledore is silent. He spent his life fighting those who wanted to burn the world. He doesn't know what to do with someone who wants to buy it. Hermione Granger returns to her notebook. Dumbledore releases Harry Potter's hand. For the first time in 50 years, the Great Wizard feels old. Not wise, just old. A man who spent his whole life playing chess, only to discover his opponent was playing Go. Hermione Granger turns the page. On it, a list. Names, dates, figures, a plan for years ahead. At the bottom, in the neat handwriting of a straight-A student, Phase 1, complete.